Next one is from Tyler. Tyler says, I met a girl at the gym recently, and we hit it off pretty well. I took her on a date the next day, and I thought it went well. Ice cream, walking along the waterfront where I live, kayaking, and finally a movie at my place. She explicitly told me that she's never been on a date like this before, and went on to say that she had a great time. I took her home. We made out at the doorstep to her apartment before I went home. I texted her later that night and asked her if she would be free sometime a few days later to hang out since we had a good time, and she said she'd be free. Now it's a few days later. She won't reply to any of my texts. She's posted on Snapchat a few times, so I know that her phone still works. Did I do something wrong? What can I do differently in the future to stop this problem? I don't think you did anything wrong. As much as you probably did a lot right on that one, to the point where she might be a little nervous, a little scared. She might be feeling a little too comfortable with you, because it sounds to me like she had a great time and now she's a little scared and she's backing up. And what happens sometimes is the date goes really well. I don't know if you've been pushing at all. So there's several problems that happen when a girl doesn't call and she makes out with you and has a good time with you. One, she might have just felt attracted to you, had fun with you, had a blast with you, and she was turned on, but there was no real connection, deep rapport. So she disappears on you because, he was fun, but, I didn't feel it. He was fun for the night. I don't get that feeling from yours. Another one is the girl just plain wasn't interested, but she didn't know how to say no, so she made out with you, took off, and didn't call you back. I don't get that feeling either. The feeling I get is that she liked you a lot and got a little scared, got a little nervous. Something happened in her personal life. She doesn't want to tell you about it. Something came up. You don't know what that is. So sometimes stuff is going to happen. The girls aren't going to say anything. But sometimes it's because they're scared. They're nervous. They get scared just like we do. And there might be a part of her going, I should call him back. And then with each day that she doesn't call you back, now she feels like a jerk. She doesn't want to call you back because she doesn't want to make you mad, but she likes you. But at the same time, she's scared. So what I would recommend doing in the future is really kind of do the same thing, but start to, in a sense, like even with this girl, I don't know how many texts you've sent her, but you can send her another text and you can call it out. It's something I call calling it out. And I would love to see that you do this and see what happens. But you got to be strong and confident in the way you call it out. At the same time, a little vulnerable. Not vulnerable needy, vulnerable strong. So you can send her a text that says, I don't know what her name is, but let's say it's Sarah. You can say, hey, Sarah, I'm really curious about something. And I've been thinking about it a little bit. I'm really curious. I'm kind of wording this. I'd almost want to see it written to know it for sure. But say, I'm really curious about something. And this is where you get vulnerable. I had a really good time with you. I really enjoyed our date. And I really felt like you felt the same way. I felt like we had a really good connection. And I haven't heard back from you. And I was just curious. And I want to know if everything's all right. If not, or you don't want to reply, that's okay. I can handle it. I'm a man. But if you can, or no, I wouldn't even put that in there. I would just put the part, I want to know if everything's okay. And just leave it at that and see what happens. You see what's happening is as you get a little more vulnerable, you get a little more human. And she can feel your emotions. And that humanity is what causes her to feel a little bit of urge to reply. When you seem almost too confident, you're sexy, there's something about you, but there's almost like, does he need me? So your girl needs to know that she can affect you emotionally. And it's one thing if we're completely needy, now she's not gonna be attracted, but if we're a strong guy with some emotions and some vulnerability, then that's sexy. That's really sexy. So if I was to reword that a little bit, if I usually have to write it out 2 or 3 times to get it right, and you only wanna send it when you feel good, but you're gonna feel a little nervous, but good. So you might say, hey, Sarah, I'm just curious. I had a really good time with you the other night. I think you're really special. And honestly, I've been thinking about our date and I felt like you had a really good time too. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like you had a really good time too. So I'm just curious, what happened? Why haven't I heard from you? Something like that. Clean it up, make it nice, and just see what happens and let it sit out there. And it might take a day to respond. Now, I wrote something similar to that to a girl that blew me off for several dates. And I was like, whatever, I'm going to send something and I'm going to get really vulnerable. I think it was even more vulnerable than that at the time. And she instantly told me what was going on. And she apologized for it because she was scared. And her exact words were to me, I really like you, but you scare me and make me nervous. So I keep canceling on you because I like you so much. So by writing that text, I got out of, I made myself a little bit more human. She could see that I really did care and I wasn't just wanting to go out with her because she's another pretty face. And in that, we were on a date within a few days, and bam, it just went straight from there. So, so try that out, reword it, feel it. Make sure that you don't feel any sense, you feel a sense of vulnerability, but not a sense of begging in it. Okay? A sense of opening up and sharing your emotions, but no sense of please respond, or, you know, I just want to know what happened. Are you okay? That needy tone. You got to take the needy tone out. Okay? And then text us and let us know, or email us and let us know what happened with that.